Hey everyone, Savage Gaming here, and today I just want to preface this video by saying this is the first review. It's a little rough, but I wanted to start writing and I wanted to be able to show that I can improve my writing and really move on from it. And I also wanted to show that I can do video editing to a certain extent. I'll eventually make these a lot better. I have more ideas for shows coming in the future. However, I just want to start simple with just basically some clips that line up and talking over the gameplay and telling you guys what I think of Yakuza. So without further ado, here is the review. It's safe to say that I've never in my life played a game quite like Yakuza Kiwami. No, I don't mean that as an open world game that focuses more on combat and world depth, but I've never played anything nearly as humorous, cringe, and just purely enjoyable from moment to moment. The gameplay is focused on over-the-top melee combat, the story is dramatic, the world itself is filled to the brim with side missions that within it are absolutely ridiculous, goofy, and lighthearted. I was pleasantly surprised to fall in love with the game while I played it live on stream. Playing through it made me wish I had played it originally when it came out on the PlayStation 2 back in 2005. As previously mentioned, Yakuza Kiwami is a re-release and an upgrade of Yakuza on the PlayStation 2, which was created and published by Sega. However, when it comes to gameplay, it is hardly noticeable and sits up there with some of the best classics from the PlayStation 2 era in terms of having timeless gameplay and good design. While I am aware that the gameplay may be a bit different due to visual upgrades, the core ideas and execution of the gameplay are still there, and that's what makes it fantastic. The melee combat is there, paired with skill trees of various fighting styles, ensure that the gameplay doesn't overstay its welcome. The game rarely feels like it is too difficult, and it feels like you can always get close and improve, as long as you keep in mind what your mistakes were. The fighting has you feel like sometimes you're an unstoppable tank, and other times like you're a fragile and evasive fighter. All four different fighting forms achieved specific purpose and are best used in different situations with all sorts of different kinds of enemies. In addition to the combat, the game is full of in-depth minigames that are used to help the world feel more interactive and immersive. Yakuza Kiwami comes nearly identical to the original title in terms of design, however the assets have been entirely made from the ground up while still maintaining the exact designs. In addition to that, the soundtrack and audio are all great as well. While all of this is wonderful improvement, there are some aspects where the lacking detail is noticeable and you can tell that it was a PlayStation 2 game, even if the asset itself looks really good. For the time, the game is super in-depth in comparison to its contemporaries. In addition to the aforementioned minigames, the world itself feels so much more lively than other games at that time. Now that the game is on PlayStation 4, it's much easier to populate the world from a technical standpoint. The game itself takes place mostly entirely in one Japanese neighborhood, so you're able to become familiar with it very quickly. The world itself is also filled with hilarious and zany side quests to complete and are entertaining and rewarding experiences. At the start of the game, Kiryu takes the fall for his brother, Akira, who had murdered a higher-up Yakuza that was going after his childhood friend Yumi, who is Kiryu's love interest. After taking the fall for his brother, Kiryu is sentenced to 10 years in prison. The game picks up after that, where Kiryu learns that his brother has risen through the ranks of the Yakuza and has become much more powerful, and it turns out that Yumi has gone missing. From there, Kiryu runs into a young girl that he has to protect, and he tries to get her back to her mother, which only draws the attention to them even more for some mysterious reason. There are plenty of people after both him and her. Throughout Kiryu's journey, the mysteries around him start to unravel as the game progresses, what is ultimately a story that is enigmatic and is anything other than predictable. Overall, the game provided a great and enjoyable experience. For as old as it is, this version most part feels up to date. While there may be some noticeable aspects that still make the game feel like it's a PlayStation 2 game, none of them truly hinder what is otherwise a truly great video game, but are clear and noticeable flaws within it. Overall, I give the game an 8.5 out of 10. It's great, it's fantastic, I highly recommend it. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like and that subscribe for more gaming content. Hit the notification bell down below to get notified every time I post a video. Be sure to catch my bi-weekly Star Wars podcast, Outer Rim Radio, on my YouTube channel and streaming services across the internet. It's every Sunday at noon Eastern over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/savagegaming. All my other social media is @savagegaming and is linked in the description below. Take care.